Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm bringing you a new, design video. It would be, can't really title it anything else. This is going to be the process of designing TotalBiscuit's new t-shirt titled House Biscuit. We do not pre-order. Obviously, the idea behind this design is TB's constant struggle against the concept of pre-ordering, more because it's not in the consumer's best interest, and I agree with that, even though I did pre-order GTA 5, because it's GTA 5. I knew it wasn't going to be bad. It couldn't have been bad, come on. But yes, I am a GTA fanboy, I have to admit. I've been playing it since fucking first one, so of course I would be. Anyway, the basic, concept for this shirt was inspired by some illustrations made by a designer called Oliver Ibanez. He made some Game of Thrones banners in a really, really cool style, and obviously I couldn't rip it off. But I had to, I didn't have to, but I wanted to come up with something that sort of resembled that kind of stylistic choice without blatantly ripping the guy off, because you don't do that, it's bad. So I fucked around with a lot of the vector assets I have gathered over the years, a lot of flourishes and banners and all sorts of vector shapes, decorative elements, etc. that you can, well, I wouldn't say easily, but with some work you can twist around and combine to get new interesting shapes that can be used as patterns or as spiky, cool looking decorative elements and all that. So I was pretty happy with how it came out in the end. I always try to include skulls in any design I make, regardless of its theme. I included skulls in the 60 FPS design as well, and I managed to sneak a few in this one as well. Because why not? Skulls are fucking awesome, and I keep saying that every video. So in the end, it turned out quite okay looking, I think. I think the only problem people have generally, other than the whole Maker Store blunder that happened last year, whereby they sent some pixelated posters, but that wasn't actually their fault because they work with a third-party printer, and the printer, for some reason, didn't realize that they were printing really, really shitty looking posters, but they were replaced, most of them at least. So yeah, the only drawback I would say that people might have with this design is that it's too nerdy. I know it's a bit nerdy, but what can you do? Like, it's hard to design something around TB's brand that is super funny or awesome, because he doesn't have that cult around him like other YouTubers do. Like, let's say PewDiePie, which can... You make a t-shirt with a fist and bro army, and like fucking millions are gonna buy it. So, you know, it's different. He encourages that sort of togetherness and his viewership, while other YouTubers choose not to do that. And as for me personally, I think I would lean towards the latter, because getting people riled up and thinking that they're part of a community, which isn't really a community in the end, I think that's wrong to do. Because there's this funny thing about mob mentality and people thinking they're part of something and fighting for like a righteous cause that seems very familiar to much worse things that mobs can get into. So I think discouraging the mob and the army or whatever mentality is kind of a good idea nowadays, at least, especially with the whole scandals that have been going on Twitter against certain well-known people and like Gamergate bullshit and all that crap. So yeah, it's just mobbing against each other. It's really bad. So anyway, yeah, I think that from the feedback I got, that was basically the only drawback that people would have, that it's maybe a little bit too specific. But that's how it's going to be. That's how it's always going to be when it comes to designing a shirt for TotalBiscuit. It has to be specific. It's the person. It's not a company. It's not several people. It's one guy. So you got to kind of play on stuff that's going on in pop culture right now and try to integrate that in some way to make it interesting for people. But it's still going really well, the campaign, and I have no complaints at all about it. I think it's selling pretty great. So if you want one, feel free to grab one. The link is in the description. I've probably heard of it from TV by now, since most of my audience is obtained through TotalBiscuit, I guess. Only a tiny bit have found me independently. So yeah, feel free to grab a shirt. I obviously get a cut from it. It's how we do it with every shirt. I get a chunk, not a big one, but enough to make it worthwhile anyway. So not really much else to talk about the shirt. I think the design turned out quite okay, and I was happy with it, and everyone else was happy with it. So I guess it's kind of the path I'm going to be taking from now on when it comes to designing these kinds of shirts. We've tried, like, we've had some really bad ideas in the past. The one with the Archmage of the freaking universe that was supposed to look like a PS4 game cover. That was just horrendous. I don't know what we were thinking with that one. Everyone was at fault with that. Like, yeah, from the complexity of the design to how boxy it looked to how weird it was in the end. I think that was a mistake that we learned a lot from. And we've had other mistakes, but I think that things are stabilizing to a kind of an acceptable state nowadays when it comes to putting out t-shirt designs, at least. So we'll see. It can only get better, I guess. So as for my personal life, which is something that I always prefer to talk about, I guess, nowadays, not much has been happening. I spent a day at, well, let me preface this by saying that Czech people, generally families, have cottages at the outskirts of the city, Prague being kind of where everything happens. I have no idea what happens in the Czech Republic outside of Prague. So they have cottages, and they have a piece of land, and you can grow some vegetables. Some people have animals. Most people don't, but you can if you want to. And they go there quite often in the weekend or during the summer for vacations, etc. So I got to go to my girlfriend's family's cottage, and it's situated on a pretty significant piece of land. And I gotta say, it was fucking awesome being there, like kind of reconnecting with nature again, because I haven't been outside in a field or in a forest for I don't know how many years. Being in the city all the time, you're gonna lose touch with how cool it is to be out in nature and just smell the grass and the plants and all that shit. So it was just really cool, and I want to plant some herbs and veggies because I am a gardener at heart. I like doing that sort of shit, like cleaning, doing yard work and cleaning outdoors, and doing all sorts of manual labor. It makes me feel good. I think any man would, if he got to sample a little bit of it, would feel good about it, and it would, I can be inspiring for him. So we're gonna keep going there again, and hopefully I'll have a harvest of delicious organic vegetables eventually at some point. There's a lot of cleaning to be done and all that shit, and yeah. Otherwise, just going strong, doing some projects. I'm waiting to get paid for some shit, and hopefully I can post videos of what I make. But again, it's difficult with people because they order a commission, and then they say like, oh yeah, we're gonna launch this 5 months from now, so please don't post any videos. So you gotta wait with that, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm trying to organize my time, my budget, my everything to have enough time to hopefully get back into drawing. But it's probably not going to be a lot of that until I have my equipment here in Prague, which I have to get from Romania and use some international shipping company to send across Europe, because there's no way I can take any of that on a plane. It's all bulky and huge. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for supporting me and us, I guess, TotalBiscuit and me, of course, implicitly. And I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye-bye.